When you think of the prayer of spiritual self-examination in the presence of God, I think that's a concept that's often strongly associated with the concluding verses of Psalm 139. Psalm 139 is an inspired song of worship focused on the topic of being known fully and accurately by God. Psalm 139 is a perennially standout portion of the book of Psalms and fills a rich and varied role in the spiritual lives of many Christians, relating as it does to the divine human relationship, as well as to the nature of God and to the nature of humans. It starts with the introductory phrase, Lord, you have searched me and known me. And then it's going to finish with something quite similar. But in between there, the author takes that topic. You could think of that introductory prayer line as the introduction of the themes that the whole thing's going to be talking about. And so he takes that topic introduction and continues to poetically and theologically expand on what it means for God to completely and correctly and thoroughly know about us and know us as individuals. God's presence is inescapable and his love unstoppable. And a lot of readers find themselves compelled to pause at the center point of the psalm in verses 13 through 14, which is where it says, For it was you who created my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know this very well. That's kind of the middle point of the psalm, maybe by intention. But at the beginning was that introductory phrase, Lord, you have searched me and known me. And then in the final phrase, it closes by reiterating that declarative prayer into a petitionary prayer. So it closes with, Search me, God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. See if there is any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. This concluding request, even though it's in the form of a prayer and is a prayer, can also definitely be thought of as suggesting an invitation to the reader or the worshiper to step into the shadow of God's face with an exposed heart, almost like a kind of participative self-examination of worship. And it's hard not to see some kind of conceptual parallel with the exposing power of light suggested in 1 John 1. The difference maybe would be the area of focus for the worshiper, but the result is going to be quite similar. And the process and the participants for that result are also going to be quite similar or even maybe even identical. And I think it's probably pretty fair to say that the kind of spiritually attuned, prayerful self-examination that this text nudges you toward is the kind of spiritual discipline that Christians throughout the world have found themselves nudged toward for much of church history, at least for those who are actually searching for the transformative connection with the divine. We recognize there will always be many individuals who seek to use religion or spirituality for their own goals, which maybe is a large part of what made Jesus angry at the most prominent guides of the spiritual establishment of his day. But anyway, I think it's fair to say that Psalm 139 as a whole, and that closing phrase in particular, can play a vital part in how we as Christians do truth. We do truth by fixing our eyes on the source of truth, knowing that he knows us and his eyes pierce the soul with just one look. You do truth by moving one step closer and fixing your eyes on that dazzling light and exposing yourself consciously in so doing, so that not only does the light see you as you really are, but you actually end up seeing yourself just a little bit more by being seen. I think that's one aspect of how you do truth. The next text I'd like to look at, in light of this theme of self-examination, is part of the Hebrew wisdom tradition. This is the kind of thing that I meant when I said that self-examination could take place both on the